I'm screaming. It's perfectly lovely. It's freaking bats. It's freaking bats. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. Did you like that I did it with both hands today? That's because I'm twice as excited as I normally am, because today I am filming this on October 1st, which means it is officially spooky season. I am so excited for the content that I have planned for this month. I have so many spooky looks to show you, starting with this one. Today I am giving you a bat wing. How fun. I cannot take credit for this at all. I found this amazing TikTok of this person doing this beautiful bat wing eyeliner, and they explained it so well and so detailed. Definitely go follow them on TikTok. And I want to start doing something in October that I think would be really fun. I want to share with you guys a Halloween decoration of mine at the beginning of every video. Everybody does cute little quirky things during the holiday season, and I want to be cute and quirky too. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my good friend, the little pumpkin ghoul man. He is a relic from the past. This was purchased by my mother from the Christmas tree shop for $1.69. I don't know how long ago. If my mom is watching this, please comment. Let us know when you bought this, because it has to be maybe as old as I am. He's very sparkly, and I like that he has like a little bat buddy, but the bat kind of looks like a bear. I don't know, it's very interesting. It's a very cute, very unique decoration, and I wanted to share that with you today, but that's not what this video is about. No, you did not click on this video to hear me talk about all of my Halloween decorations, although maybe in the future now you will, since I'm gonna do it every day in October. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, have an interest in Halloween makeup releases. I feel like every year Halloween makeup releases kind of get skipped over because the holiday releases tend to be released in September and October, and more makeup brands definitely come out with holiday releases more so than they do Halloween releases, just because the holidays is more of a gift-giving holiday, whereas Halloween is not as much. But there's actually a pretty good deal of Halloween makeup releases this year, and I thought it would be fun if we went through them together. It's not really gonna be an anti-haul. Granted, I'm not gonna buy like 95% of them, but I thought it would be fun if we talked about them. I did a ton of research for this video. I have like pages upon pages of notes to go through, and I thought it could be fun if we talked about all of them, and I could talk about which ones I think look worth buying and which ones I don't. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you want to hear all about the latest and greatest Halloween makeup releases, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching. It's coming at you right. You gotta do the snap. It's coming at you right now. Okay, so the first Halloween makeup release I want to talk to you about is from BH Cosmetics. I feel like this was the first release I saw that was Halloween related. So this is the BH Cosmetics Drop Dead Gorgeous collection. It includes their Full On Crazy palette and their A Little Bit Psycho palette. The Full On Crazy palette is a full-size palette, Little Bit Psycho palette is a mini palette. First, I just want to get out of the way that I think those names are horrible. I think that was really dumb of them to pick like names that stigmatize mental health. I just think there was so many other choices they could have had based off of what this color scheme looks like. There's just so much better names that you could have chosen, and in 2020 we're done stigmatizing mental health. I just think calling things crazy, calling things psycho is not cool, so I hate the names of these palettes. But looking at them objectively, I did watch a couple of reviews on these. I watched one by Yessie Gonzalez and one by Cat Loves Makeup. I will link them both down below. They both had beautifully thorough reviews, and it seems like the formula of these palettes they both agreed was pretty good, pretty solid formula. This collection also comes with a glitter blood, and that was $12. And when I watched Yessie's video, she said that it burned her eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that you probably shouldn't get the glitter blood, I guess, unless you're gonna put it on your body. But she had a really good tip where she said you could probably make your own glitter glue type of thing by just using a glitter primer and adding some shimmery shadow, because that's all it really looked like. Now, as for the color story, I think for Halloween, these colors make sense, especially in the big palette. The big palette gives us some reds, it gives us a pink, a purple, a couple shades of blue, some shimmers, you know, they gotta throw a black and white in there. I think this definitely reads Halloween to me. I think you could do a lot of different looks. You know, you could go for the vampy vampire look. You could definitely do something a little witchier maybe, you know, something bright and colorful. I think the big palette has a wonderful color story. I think the little one is kind of boring to me. It just looks like a neutral palette with a pop of red, which to me is kind of boring. I guess there's a yellow in there. I don't know. I just think between the two palettes, if I were to get one, which I'm not, I would get the larger one. Oh, and they also have a brush set. There's a makeup bag. To be honest, I don't care, so I'm not really gonna talk about them. But going off of the whole collection, for me, this is a pass just because I already have so many colors like this. Also, I really am just upset about the names. I don't like that they named it that, so I'm definitely gonna pass on this, but I hope that gives you a little more information on the BH Cosmetics Halloween collection. Okay, moving on to the Halloween collection from Milani. I am actually probably gonna get a couple things from this. Let me tell you what it comes with. There are two palettes that they have. There is the Beautiful Nightmare eyeshadow palette, and there is the Fairy Tale eyeshadow palette. So they're kind of trying to give you two different characters that you could do for Halloween. You have the Beautiful Nightmare, which is more of like a grungy, deeper greens, blues, reds situation. And then there's the Fairy Tale eyeshadow palette, which is clearly more like fairies, light, ethereal, pastel sort of a colors. And then they also have some glosses. They have some stickers that you can put on your face, or some jewels, I guess, that are adhesive. The adhesive jewels are $10 for the pack, which I think is asking a little much just because I've been going to Michael's basically every weekend for the past 2 weeks, so I know the cost of gemstones, and honey, that's not it. But yeah, I think $10 is asking a lot for those little sticker adhesives, so I would pass on those for sure. The glosses I'm sure are fine. I'm just like, I don't really think of them as super Halloween-y. They're just kind of pretty basic glosses. But as for the eyeshadow palettes, I want the fairy one. The fairy one is like speaking my language. Those colors are colors that I don't have, I think. I mean, I have the white. Okay, I wish they would have skipped the white. Everybody's got a white. Well, you know what? I'm being presumptuous. Maybe not everybody has the white, but the seafoam green color is really speaking to me. The color right next to it, that like periwinkle blue, ugh, they look so pretty. I've heard kind of mixed things on Milani's eyeshadow formula. I heard it's kind of a hit or miss, but I heard that the shimmers are pretty good, and this is like a mostly shimmer palette. How many does it have? There's 9 pastel shimmers. I think there's only 1 matte. I think the white might be the only matte shade in here. That would be fine with me. I would be happy to have this as a companion palette. I think I'm gonna get that eyeshadow palette. I'm not gonna get the other one, the Beautiful Nightmare eyeshadow palette, just because that color story doesn't speak to me quite as much. I feel like I have most of the colors in that already. I think this is a really well curated collection from Milani, because I love that they came out with 2 eyeshadow palettes that you could definitely see creating these sort of characters with, but you could also use in your everyday life. I don't know, I think that's cool. I think it's cool that they created something that you could use beyond just Halloween, and I think they look really cohesive. I love that they chose 2 different characters. I know they also partnered with 2 different influencers who created these characters. I don't know the person who created the first one very well. Fancy Flutie is the person who created the Beautiful Nightmare palette. I'll put their picture and their beautiful costumes on here and their makeup looks. Oh, she's so pretty. But the person who created the Fairy Tale collection is somebody who I follow. Her name is Mia. She's incredibly talented. I love her makeup style. So I think I'm also interested in the Fairy Tale palette because I know the types of looks that she normally goes for are similar to the types of looks that I go for. So you know what? I think I'm gonna pick up that Fairy Tale palette. It looks pretty sweet. Good job, Milani. I'm really impressed by this collection. So the next collection I'd like to talk about is from Makeup Revolution, and it is their Nightmare Before Christmas palette. Oh boy, this is a lot. So they have 2 palettes. They have a Jack and Sally palette, and they each have 36 shades, which is like, oh my gosh, they kind of are set up like little books, which is cute because it's a book? I mean, I know it's a movie, but is it based off a book? Is The Nightmare Before Christmas based off a book? I will fact check myself and insert the answer on the screen. Either way, the palettes are kind of set up like books because they have shadows on both sides, which is kind of cute. I personally am just way too overwhelmed by that many shades, especially because a lot of them look very, very similar to each other. Like, Makeup Revolution kind of gives me Morphe vibes in the sense that I feel like sometimes their palettes are just too big and there's too many options in them. I also should say I've never tried anything from Makeup Revolution, but I did do some research to find out more about the formulas today. This palette has not come out yet. Nobody's reviewed it because I guess it hasn't officially been released yet, or at least nobody's got it and made a video yet. But I did watch some different reviews on Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes, and it seems like it's a pretty well-liked formula. People like it pretty decently. Not the highest quality, but not the worst. Kind of giving me BH Cosmetics vibes, you know? But it's a UK brand. I'm definitely more attracted, I think, to the Jack palette because that one seems to have have some more bright colors in it, but both of them just have too many repetitive colors for me. 36 is just too much. They could have done just 18, you know, I think that would have been plenty. They're $22 each, which for that many colors is honestly not bad, but I wouldn't pay $22 for having so many shadows. I'd be too overwhelmed, and I'm not like a die-hard Nightmare Before Christmas fan or anything. I like the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's perfectly lovely, but I don't, you know, care enough to buy it. I never buy things just because I like a movie, because I don't like to be marketed to in that sort of fashion. So this is gonna be a pass for me. So yeah, that was the Makeup Revolution Halloween collection. Let me know what you think. And now let's move on to another one. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm so excited to talk about this next one. I know I'm gonna get it. Let me just put that out there. I know I'm gonna get it. At least I hope I'm gonna get it if I can get it. It is the Shroud Cosmetics X Beautbean collaboration palette, and it is called the It's Frickin' Bats palette. I'm screaming. That is such a cute name, and I watched Beautbean's whole video talking about it, and she did say that it was not intended to be a Halloween palette. She herself is very into like spooky stuff, and she knew she was collabing with Shroud Cosmetics. However, she didn't know that it was gonna come out around Halloween, which honestly kind of just makes me love it more, because she's just like a person who loves spooky stuff in general, and I love spooky stuff in general. She's very cool. Go subscribe to Beautbean. She is so sweet. I like her so much. But enough of me gushing about Beautbean. Let's talk about her beautiful palette. It's frickin' bats. It's frickin' bats. So this palette is perfectly curated for Halloween. She picked every color so flawlessly, and she said in her video she wanted to create a palette that was nothing you would like have already. Like, because she knew she was working with 9 pans, she didn't want any throwaway colors. She didn't want a black or a white or anything that you probably already have. So every single shade in the palette is just incredibly well thought out. It has 4 mattes, 2 duochromes, 2 shimmers, and 1 metallic shade, which is like giving you range. And I haven't tried anything from Shroud Cosmetics. Oh, by the way, Shroud Cosmetics recently rebranded. They used to be Strobe Cosmetics, so if that ties something together for you, that is great. But I did watch a video from Annette's Makeup Corner where she was reviewing another palette from Shroud Cosmetics, and the formula applied beautifully. She had such a good time with it, and she had tried many palettes from them before. Beautbean always speaks very highly of Shroud Cosmetics, so I have no doubt that the formula is not going to be fantastic. This color story hits me right in the heart. I'm so excited. I hope that I can get it. They have a pre-sale on October 4th, and I am going to be setting my alarm ready to go, because this palette is so beautiful. The greens, the purples, the periwinkles, the shimmers. I love all of it, and I want to get my grimy little fingers on it. So great job, Shroud Cosmetics. Great job, Beautbean. I'm so excited for your Halloween collection. That wasn't supposed to be a Halloween collection, but is going to be fantastic for Halloween. Alrighty, did I make you wait long enough to talk about the Colourpop Hocus Pocus collection? Sorry, it was on my 3rd page of my notes here, but yeah, so the Colourpop Hocus Pocus collection, I have watched some videos reviewing it, and I have a ton of experience with Colourpop eyeshadow formulas, so I feel like I can give a pretty good take on this. The color story is not exciting to me. I do understand what they were going for. You know, they have the Sanderson sisters and the colors of the outfits that they wear. It's pretty fitting. I do, however, feel like there are some shades in here that I just think they could have done without, you know, some of the more boring neutral shades, and it does have a pressed glitter in it, and I know that people are either like all for pressed glitter or very anti-pressed glitter, and it feels like there's no in between there. I am on the side of being anti-pressed glitter, and I was pro-pressed glitter for quite some time. Last year, I was like all about the glitters. I was using my Tati Beauty palette all the time. I was constantly wearing glitters, and then I realized how annoying taking pressed glitters off is, and how irritating it is to my eyes, which are not even all that sensitive, but just the skin around your eyes is very sensitive, and I love my skincare routine. I take pride in my skincare routine, and I don't like using things that can potentially tear your eye area. Also, glitter is not great for the environment. There are some companies that make biodegradable glitter, but as far as I know, I don't think Colourpop is one of those companies. I really just wish they would skip the pressed glitter, but other than that, this color story is not very appealing to me. I have heard some people compare it to the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette, which I think came out last year, and I can kind of see it, but honestly, the Lunar Beauty one looks way more exciting to me. That one's got some purples in it. That one's got some more depth. That one is much more inspiring for me to create looks. I don't know, I just look at the Colourpop one and I see like 3 potential looks, and then I'm like, that's really it. And I also feel like it just kind of looks like similar shades to the last few palettes they've come out with, which I also wasn't very excited about. I haven't been excited about anything Colourpop has come out with for their last few launches. I haven't bought an eyeshadow palette from Colourpop since the So Jaded palette, which came out over a year ago now. That was the last palette that I felt like, wow, yes, this is exciting for me. So I'm just gonna continue waiting for Colourpop to potentially come out with something more exciting. But this palette is $22, which I looked it up is on par with their previous Halloween releases, you know, so I think that's, I guess, makes sense for that, but I would never spend $22 on a palette that I only feasibly like a few shades in and that I probably already own most of the shades, so this is definitely going to be a skip for me. But if this is a color story that you don't own already, you know, Colourpop shimmers are pretty good, and this palette does seem to be mostly shimmers. It has some sequin shades, which I don't love, which are mattes with glitter in them. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you would have a matte with glitter in them, because they either don't show up on the eyes at all after you tap off your brush, or they show up in random spots where you don't want them to show up. I think there's too many sequin shades in here for me, but if you don't mind the sequin shades, and if you don't have any of these shimmers, Colourpop shimmer formula is really nice. So if that's interesting to you, you should go for it. And yeah, I think it officially launched today. I know their first launch day didn't go so well. They weren't expecting so many people to get on the website, and the website like crashed, so they had to reschedule it to the next day. I haven't checked on Twitter in a while. I don't know how it goes. Let me know if you know. Did it go better today? I hope so. Is it sold out? Probably, but I was gonna get it anyway. So yeah, that's that on that with the Colourpop Halloween collection. Alrighty, now I would like to talk to you about some face and body paints. So this year, NYX is coming out with their SFX, Special FX face and body palettes, and they have two. They have one in the primary color selection and one in their brights color selection. These are $15 each. They look pretty nice. I've seen them do a couple looks on people with them. They look like they're good. I like the ranges of colors, and I wanted to compare these NYX palettes to the Wet n Wild Fantasy Makers face and body paint palettes because they're set up in a very similar way. They both come with 6 shades. I couldn't find the exact amount each comes with, but they look like they're about the same size, and the Wet n Wild ones are significantly cheaper. However, the Wet n Wild ones are very difficult to buy on their own. They do have sets where you can buy, like their Serpent Goddess set, which is like, you know, like a mermaid look, and it comes with stickers and a lipstick and some other stuff. Then they have a vampire set, which comes with some body paint. They have a lioness set that also comes with body paint, different stuff. And those are between $10 to $15. I think they're on sale for $10 right now, but they're normally $15. So you can get their face and body palettes in those sets, but you cannot buy them on their own on the Wet n Wild website, which is like, what? Why would you do that? And like, I get it, they're trying to make you buy more stuff, but not everybody is gonna want those stickers, and somebody might want those colors but not necessarily want to do a vampire look or a lion look or a serpent look, you know? So I just think that was a little weird how they did that. You can buy them on their own, weirdly, on Amazon, and there was like one available on Walmart, so you kind of just have to do some digging, and when you do find it, they are cheaper. Like there was a couple of them on Amazon between like $4 to $6, but I just think it's very weird that it wasn't available on the Wet n Wild website. So if you're looking for like accessibility, I would say that NYX is more accessible because it's available to buy just the palettes on their own on the website. I haven't seen any in stores yet, but I also haven't been to the stores, so I don't know. Maybe the Wet n Wild ones are on sale alone in stores. I will definitely keep an eye out on that, and I'll update the description box if I see any, but I feel like they look like they would perform pretty much the same. So I guess if you can't find a Wet n Wild one, grab a NYX one. If you can't find a NYX one, grab a Wet n Wild one. I recently bought a face and body palette from the brand Ucanbe. I bought their Cruise palette. I actually just did a video last Friday where I recreated an Instagram filter on my face, and I used this palette, and I had such a good time with this. I bought this on Amazon for $14, so I will definitely link it down below for you. This comes with way more colors than either the Wet n Wild or the NYX one does, and I had a really good time with the formula. So if you were looking for some face and body paints, and I don't know, maybe you can't find the Wet n Wild or the NYX one, I would definitely recommend this one because it gives you a huge range, ton of colors. I was very impressed with the formula. They're super creamy, super pigmented. I didn't have any staining. I didn't have any negative reaction to it, but always make sure you do a patch test when it comes to face and body paint because you never know. All right, and with that, we have reached the end of the video. I'm sorry that my hair disappeared throughout the video. Apparently the background got darker, but what are you gonna do, friend? There's nothing we can do. I hope you enjoyed me talking about the latest and greatest Halloween makeup releases. I'm sure there's some that I missed. Feel free to let me know what I missed down below, because I am always interested in checking out Halloween makeup releases. Like I said, I think I'm gonna pick up that Milani Fairy palette and the Beautbean It's Frickin' Bats palette. Oh my gosh, that one I'm super excited for. The Milani is like, there's like a 75% chance I'll get that one. The Beautbean palette, it's 100% chance we're getting it. We're so frickin' excited about it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Like I said in the beginning, I have so many exciting Halloween looks planned, so much Halloween content. I'm gonna be showing you a new decoration every video. I got some Halloween nostalgia videos planned. I got some craft supplies I'm gonna be using. It's gonna be a super fun, spooky time over on my channel, so I hope you will subscribe and join me. So I thank you so much for watching this video. Please check out my description box for everything on my face today, as well as a ton of Black Lives Matter resources, including petitions to sign, places to donate, and ways to help protesters. Also, I'm going to have a link to register to vote in my description, as well as a link to the Louisville Mutual Aid Fund. So please check out all of those links if you have the time, and I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!